I can't imagine Chuck Liddell making it to the finals. Well, you never know. You know what I mean?
I've never seen the show, so I mean, I don't know. Is it like, are they all celebrities that just try and dance, or is it like professional ballroom crap going on?
They put them in with they pair them up with a professional
dancers?
With a professional dancer. So you've got Chuck Liddell with a professional dancer, and then it's just hardcore training, and then they go out there.
Yeah, but he's got a lead.
Well, they go before the judges. What do you mean he's got a lead? Yeah, he leads. I mean, but it's constant. I mean, the people that have been on that show say that they practice. 10, 12 hours a day. You know what I mean? Before they go out there on TV and do it before the judges.
Big B is back. Had to take that important phone call.
Big B is back, no doubt. We had a live phone call for you. I'm gonna try to get back to him. Let's see if I can figure out these phone lines. Here we go. Caller from Northeast California. You're back live on WZR Radio. We got Big B back now, so you're good to go.
All right, how's it going, guys? How's it going?
I'm doing good. How's everything in Cali?
Everything in Cali's going good, man. Enjoying my summer vacation before I go back to school. So it's going real good.
Going back to college? Going back to high school? What are you doing?
Going back to college. About a year and a half away from my bachelor's. So pretty excited.
What do you mean a year and a half away from your bachelor's? What, are you married now?
No. The degree. Yeah, the hard work that you put into it. I'm trying to get into sports announcing, so it's pretty exciting times.
Is it? You're kind of like auditioning for wrestlers on radio. I like it.
You could say that, yeah. You could say that. I love these guys. This guys put on a great show, and it's one of my top 5. So,
number one. The Fab 5. You good guys. We made the Fab 5.
Yeah,
top 5.
Great.
Definitely, you guys are my Tuesday night 6, pretty much, is what it is. It's great. I love it. But anyway, my question for you, Big Vito, was you've been around the wrestling business for a long time, and you had quite a long run in WWE. So, during, backstage, while they had you doing the dress gimmick, even before that when you were with the FBI, what did you see as potential stars that at that point maybe had just broken into the business that, could really be going somewhere in the long run? Who would you say is maybe those couple guys that might still be in the company today?
Out of all the guys who should still be in the company today?
Well, no, as far as, who you saw as top, potential guys that can make it, main event status one day, as they were just breaking in and you were already there as a veteran and you might have worked with them as they were, just starting out, take Randy Orton, for example. He started, 7 years ago and, he finally made it to main event status. So, the guys that you work with that's still there today pretty much in the company, who did you see as main event material?
Well, a lot of the guys who were there got fired. So kind of like, all the guys I thought that would be, the top 1 guys were getting pushes. A lot of guys from Deep South Wrestling are doing pretty well right now, since they came up. And, they had a good group down there in Deep South Championship Wrestling. And a couple guys from Louisville are doing okay. Maybe they're not ready for the spots they have, but they're getting the push, and they're trying to move these guys along as quick as possible.
Sometimes can you give one example?
No, I can't.
No?
I can't criticize any of my peers because that wouldn't be right of me. Everybody does a great job, and everybody does.
No. An example of one person that you think could be main event material that just isn't right now. That's just starting out or still kind of. Not a really
even one of the new guys, like somebody over on ECW, where they have this new talent initiative, where they're bringing these guys up from
on the ECW. I really they brought up the Sheamus kid. I really don't, doesn't knock my socks off.
What about somebody like Abraham Washington? I know the talk show is kind of brutal to watch these days, but he's only been there for a few weeks, you know what I mean?
It definitely is.
Nah, I just, nothing that pops out of my head. I mean, the guys who are running now, Kofi Kingston is doing well. I think a guy who's due to maybe, if they get him right, I think he could be a good champion. Maybe not the world champion, but be a good, champion on the second tier would be Carlito.
What do you think of Miz?
Yeah, what do you think about the Miz over on Monday Night Raw, Vito?
Miz came up. Miz was greener than green when I rode with him. We used to ride together, and he's come a long way in the wrestling business. But that's because he wanted to learn. He trained. He did what he had to do. He just put on tights for the first time, and they're trying to change him into a wrestler. He's coming along. When they were having doing that yo thing with Cena, I thought that was great. I thought that he started to come along. I thought that character was good for him. Then they made him come out plain. You know what I mean? It took away his image.
Yeah, but not only that, but they did 4 matches between The Miz and John Cena, and in all 4 of those matches, Cena went over all 4 times. You know what I mean? So what does that do for somebody like The Miz? I know it gets him in a program with John Cena, and he gets a semi-rub from that, but if you don't put him over clean, out of the 4 matches that they did, Cena gets the clean pin every time. I don't know. I don't know if that was the way that it should have been done. One win wouldn't have hurt Cena because he's going back into a main event program anyways. You know what I mean? So I don't think a Miz win over.
Would you really say the Miz was ready to go over on John Cena? I thought the thing they were building up where he's 4-0, 5-0. That alone was the push, and that alone he was beating Cena without Cena answering the call. Then when he lost to Cena in the 4 shots, every time he came out afterwards, he was more vicious and more meaner than every time out. That's what you're not looking at. You're looking at the wins and losses. They should have pinned him once, but in retrospect, he did beat Cena 4 or 5 times on him calling. Then when he finally got in the tag with the Big Show, then he got in there and he got, and he was playing with both them guys. Then when he wrestled, Cena in the singles, they accomplished what they wanted to do. They made him a winner without giving him the win. So that means, after I lost the hardcore title, right, in WCW, I was over as hardcore title. I became more over without the belt because I established myself because I was a tough mother, and I lost. But I always fought my hardest, and I gave my best. You know what I mean? The fans love that. When you fight the best guys.
Derek Funk, yeah, I remember.
All right, when you fight the best guys and you give your best effort and you show you're not a punk, you get over with the people and say, yeah, that's the tough guy. It's just like Vito wearing a dress. I was undefeated for 4 months. Okay, I was getting ready to go to the top and fight Booker T for the title. They put the Undertaker there, and then they put somebody else there. I was going neck and neck there with to make my way to the championship match, but then they just they derailed it and made a turn with it. But it didn't deflate who I was and what I was doing. Get to be ranked in the top. You get to be ranked in the top 10 in WWE, and you accomplish something.
I didn't mean to cut you off. We got lots and lots of phone calls. Thank you guys for calling so much tonight. 724-444-7444. Call ID number 30273, followed by the pound key. We're going to Vito's neck of the woods, former neck of the woods. Caller from New York City. You're live on WZR Radio. What's on your mind, man? New York City.
Hey, how you doing? Where are you from in New York?
I think he just hung up on you, buddy.
Did he hang up?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah? He must have been from the Bronx.
Callie's on there. He's good.
What's the next phone caller?
Let's go back to you, California. Caller from California. You're live on WZR Radio. What's up?
Hey, what's up? Just 2 quick questions. I'm kind of in Vegas right now at the casinos, but no problem. Hey, quick question. Okay, let's UFC question. First one, let's just say Brock Lesnar was fighting a wrestler, and fighting whoever, UFC original, and let's say Vince McMahon was there with Shane, in the front row, and let's say Lesnar beat him up, and you say Shane was laughing about it. Then why even allow Vince to pay money to go to one of his fights that Brock Lesnar's fighting, or would he kind of think it's a slap in the face that one of WWE's originals come and be one of his originals, and the owner of WWE is laughing at UFC, because one of my men beat up one of your men. You see what I'm saying?
Nah, bro. I mean, you know how many WWE guys go front row to go watch the UFC fight?
Yeah, but we allow Vince McMahon to go, though. Like, Vince is our owner. We all know that. We allow the owner to go and see.
Vince was going to the Tyson fights and sitting there. And Vince was, again, wasn't a big fan of boxing. There was his rival back then, was Mike Tyson in the boxing. But if Vince showed up at Dana White's thing, I mean, Dana White would treat him with all the golden glory. And if one of his fighters did go over to Vince and do something, you would be giving Vince more publicity than you could ever pay for. That's why he would tell them, you stay away from Vince McMahon, don't acknowledge him.
Okay, one more quick question. Let's just say, before Mayweather's coming, remember when Shaq was at WWE, he put a 4.0? What rating do you see them getting with Mayweather hosting the show next week? Do you see him getting a 4.0 or 3-point-something or even higher than Shaq?
It's also the post-SummerSlam show, so you're going to have that spike. And Mayweather, I think he'll draw. I don't know if he'll draw as much as Shaq, but I don't know. I would say 4. I mean, it did 3.8 last night, so going up 0.2 of a rating point does not seem that hard with Mayweather and the fallout from SummerSlam, DX and all that.
It's so tough to predict ratings on a week-to-week basis.
I would say a 4 is safe.
Well, you've also got NFL preseason football that is likely going to go head-to-head with that show, and the regular season's going to start up soon. I mean, it's really, really hard to predict ratings. Are you in Las Vegas? Did you say? I hear the God, I missed that. Remember that Boone? Me and Boone were out in Vegas just a couple weeks ago with the slot machines and those noises. Man, they ring a bell. Fresh in the mind, baby.
Talk about loyalty, this guy's in Vegas partying it up, gambling, and he still calls in WZR Radio with Big Vito. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, we got to send him a T-shirt.
Give him a T-shirt. Callie, anything else?
All right. Yep.
All right, thanks, buddy. I appreciate the call. Hey, let's go to, where do you want to go next? We'll go to, actually, let's not go anywhere right now because I fucked it up again. 724-444-7444. Call ID number is 30273, followed by the pound key. We're going to do chat shout-outs here in just a little bit. V, we got sidetracked a little bit. We were talking about the Kurt Angle situation.
We gave you the full update. What's on your mind, man? What do you think about that Kurt Angle stuff? What's going on?
Well, I think that, with all the nasty rumors about Jeff Jarrett and his wife, which, I mean, private matters should keep with private people, and it's not for everybody's, business. I think that's, kind of like, still his wife, still family. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. Wrestlers shouldn't play with other wrestlers' wives. That's kind of like what I think, and that's what I believe. As far as the relationship goes and being in your house and having to get out of your own house, and I mean, I could feel Kurt Angle's pain, and especially dealing with that nonsense. I mean, up to a point, having, prescriptions with him, if he was going to the hotel, he needed to take his medicine, all good. If he just had it in the car and it got, and somebody looked over and seen it, his bad. As far as the driving without a license, driving suspended license, that's bad because you're gonna do some time on that. You're gonna get a slap on the wrist for that one. And breaking the order of protection when you know to stay far away from somebody. Whether he was in a parking lot or whatever, but you just got to stay away from the person.
I think what happened is something happened between the two of them on Friday night, and she went on Friday night and filed an order of protection, and then the next morning it sounded like it was almost kind of like an all-nighter thing, where this was at like 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, where she was in Starbucks on the internet there because she had left the house or the apartment that they had been sharing, and that's where it all went down in the parking lot. The